Afternoon. Today we are continuing with that slope-intercept form, doing CO56. I can write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form given an equation in standard form. So we're going to learn what standard form means. So first thing, just like there are many ways to describe a warm day, we could say it's hot, we could say it's sunny, we could say it's summery, we could say, oh, it's a Spanish caliente. There are many ways to describe the graph of a line. One way is slope-intercept form, another is standard form. So the standard form is what we run into on one of our Khan Academy assignments. So we're going to see some things in standard form, some things in slope-intercept form. How do we turn things into slope-intercept form if we see it in a different way? So what is our slope-intercept form? Everybody should know this. Tell me what the slope-intercept form is.
Y equals mx plus b.
Y equals mx plus b. We know what y stands for. We know what the x stands for. We know the m and the b. Now we have standard form. Standard form, we have ax plus by equals c. Yeah. Okay. So, what do you notice about the location of x and y? In the slope-intercept form, they're on opposite sides of the equal sign versus in standard form, they're on the same side.
This is an interruption. Teachers, if you pull up the link I sent you, you can see the eclipse in totality in Magalan, Mexico right now. Thank you.
Please. So, let's take a peek real quick at the eclipse. Oops, wrong button. Yeah, this is going to be on the video.
Yeah, you have to like and posting different content
Oh, I am still recording, so our voices are still off. And it's thinking. It's thinking. Everybody's going to it. It's still thinking. Oh my goodness, it is thinking. Yep, so we are going to go back to it in a minute. Let's keep going with our lesson, and we will check back in a couple minutes. So we need steps to convert an equation from the standard form to the slope-intercept form. We want that y on one side of the equal sign, everything else on the right-hand side, right? Because we've got y by itself, the x and that b are on the right side. So one, we're going to move the x term to the other side using what? How do we move the x to the other side of the equal sign? How do we move anything to the other side of the equal sign?
It's called
Fiona? Opposite operations. You cannot just put it on the other side of the equal sign. You have to do opposite operations. If it's positive, that means you're adding. Opposite would be subtracting. If it's negative, it means you're subtracting. So the opposite would be adding. You have to use those opposite operations. Christian.
So it's like, what if it was like a negative number? Like if you put that one back to a positive number?
So if it's a negative number, you always look at the operation. So if we're going to move the x and it's negative 10, that means minus 10. So opposite would be added 10x. And we'll go over that in a minute. Number two, our second thing is then we divide every term by the coefficient y. Why would we divide by that y's coefficient, that number in front of the y? What does it mean when there's a number in front of the y? What operation is that? Multiply. So we want to do the opposite operation. We're going to divide by it. So we want it to be just y by itself. We don't want a number in front of the y. So that's why our second step is we're going to divide it out. So let's see how this looks when we do it together. So 6x plus 3y equals 21. What's the first step we're going to do? Okay. We have to subtract that 6x from both sides. So 6x minus 6x is a 0. So we're left with that positive 3y, because plus 3 is positive 3, equals 21 minus 6x. Now, I like to put my x first, because mx, we want it in that slope-intercept form. So I'm going to say minus 6x plus 21, because they mean the same thing. 3y equals 21 minus 6x. That's the same as saying 3y equals negative 6x plus 21, because minus 6 is negative 6, positive 21 is plus 21. So we want it to be in that slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Okay, does that make sense? So our second step is we're going to divide by 3, and it says divide every term. So every part of it we are dividing by 3. 3 divided by 3 leaves me with just y. What's negative 6 divided by 3? Negative 2x. That x stays with it. Negative 6x becomes negative 2x.
So negative 2x plus.
Then we have positive 21 divided by 3 would be a plus 7.
Do we have to show our work?
Yeah, you have to show your work. Most definitely. Oh, yeah. Let's look at our next one. What is our first step? Grayson.
You have to minus the 4 by.
Now it's not just 4, it's 4x.
Yeah.
So minus 4x. So you want to keep that x with it. And we're going to subtract 4x from both sides. So what am I left with? If I have 4x minus 4x, that's 0. So then what, James? What am I left with on the left side of the equal sign? Claire? Negative 5y. Because it's minus 5y becomes negative 5y. So thank you for remembering to keep that negative in front of it. And that equals minus 4x, negative 4x plus 20. Right? Because negative 4x minus 4x is negative 4x plus 20. What's my second step, James?
Divide everything by negative 5.
Dividing everything by negative 5.
What would 4 divided by 5? It would be negative 1.
So, let's really think this through. What is negative 5 divided by negative 5? Positive 1, so that's y. What is negative 4 divided by negative 5?
Positive.
Think about our slope-intercept form, friends. What are we going to want to put? You're overcomplicating it.
Oh,
Matthew? Nope, you're overcomplicating it. That is not slope-intercept form. Lauren? Nope, that's not dividing. You multiplied. You want to divide. Will?
Negative 4 over negative 5?
No. Careful. Careful.
I know it now.
No.
4 over
4 over 5, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Well, you are so close. Keep it as a fraction, friends. It's a slope. When we've been working with slopes, we have never put decimals for slope. Slope-intercept form has to have the slope for the y. Keep your fraction as a fraction. 4 divided by 5 is 4/5. Negative 4 divided by negative 5, negative divided by a negative is a positive. Some of us got burned on the last test forgetting to simplify down to those positives. And then finish it off. What's 20 divided by 5? 20 divided by, negative 5 would be a negative 4. So minus 4. Does everybody see how we got that? Let's take a quick peek and see if the eclipse is showing.
Yes.
What was it under? This one.
What?
Yeah, here is the sun, friends. Right here.
3,
This is our sun.
1.
That's all you could see. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
How is it supposed to make me go blind?
Because when the moon moves back, if you're staring at it, you're gonna be staring straight at that sunshine as the moon's moving.
Isn't it the change of the like the change of
You
the
feel like
light?
you're
Oh my
Because
goodness.
you're not gonna want to stare at that straight on. Because it's
Oh
bright.
my gosh. What's going on?
It's moving.
The aliens.
Oh my gosh.
As it's now it's moving. It had covered it. Now it's moving, and we can see that sun shining through. I know we want to keep talking about it, but we are in the middle of math. Shh. Friends, silent. Silent. Your work time. Your work time. Let's look at this last one. Who can walk me through what my steps are? Lauren.
You're gonna do S10 instead of -10.
Plus 10x. Don't forget the x.
And then
So that leaves me with what? Yeah. And then what? Negative 3y equals that positive 10x minus 36. Now what's my second step, Lauren?
divided by -3.
Divide everything by negative 3.
Basic please interrupt boys,
So
6th grade baseball.
walking twice. Silent with your chair. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 leaves me with a y. What is 10 divided by negative 3? What is my m? Gabe? Negative 10 over 3x. Negative 36 divided by negative 3 is a positive 12. Because minus 36 is a negative 36. So if it's a minus number, remember that's a negative. So negative 36 divided by negative 3 is a positive 12. Makes
These
sense?
are your Monday afternoon announcements. If we could have these 3 students please come down to the office for some seats. Asher Rexine, Ellie Broderick, and Cyber. Let's have second Cyber.
Nope, we're filming this, or recording this, friends.
In tennis starts today. Teachers, please check your email to see if your student is attending, any of your students. They will be in front of the gym. And track practice will be inside the gym today. Remember to be kind, be brave, believe, trust in the Lord with all your heart.
As you work on these bottom ones by yourself, remember to divide all the terms by the coefficient to y. You divide your slope by it, you divide that y-intercept by it, divide everything. Paying careful attention to our negatives. Minus becomes negative. On our second page, you're going to rewrite these equations into the slope-intercept form. And then we're gonna graph them, like we have graphed in previous objectives. So we're not doing anything new on the second page. We're just pulling back, making sure we remember how to graph out from that slope-intercept form. So you're gonna turn it into the slope-intercept form and then graph it. So here, I'm gonna subtract 2x. So I have y equals negative 2x plus 5. How do I graph that? Who remembers? It was a long weekend. How do I graph y equals negative 2x plus 5? Owen. Remember, M is our slope, B is the y-intercept. You remember how to do it, Owen?
Yeah.
Okay. Fiona, I can only nod my head so much at you. Say that again, Owen.
You put on 0, 5.
Yeah, because that y-intercept, when it's at positive 5, we know the x is 0. Now what do I do, Owen? What is our slope? Remember, our slope, that m is in front of the x, so our slope is negative 2. What would that's the rise. What's the run going to be? The run would be 1. So because it's negative, I go down 2 over 1, and I'm going to graph my line. Okay, we've done that objective already, so if you forgot how to do it, flip back to that objective to remember how to graph from the slope-intercept form. So if you are watching this at home, I hope you are well. I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.